Make sure to subscribe to the channel because we have some cool stuff coming your way in the next few shows, including some big plans for episode 100. We're having a Memorial Day sale over at the Grip Authority on the Pinch Trilogy DVD set. You can get each of my Two Hands Pinch DVDs for 15% off or get all three for an even better 25% off. And today we're going to do an entire show dedicated to feats and accomplishments that have gone down recently. I want to thank everyone who has used the hashtag #ThisWeekInGrip. We're up over 3,400 uses, so great job, everybody. The grip community is awesome. And one thing before we get started, I want to thank Tommy Jennings for the post that he made on episode 94. I don't know if Alan and James saw that, but he made a couple really good posts on the episode where we talked about beginner grip trainee goals. He went a step farther, and even, or is it further? Is it further or farther there? What am I supposed to say there?
I wouldn't have the answer for that one.
Okay, well, I'm going to say farther, so I don't care what you guys say. So I'm going to say, so what does he say? He says, if the guy asking what benchmark grip feats lock him in as being a strong, elite grip guy, I would have to pick at least one feat for each of the three areas of grip, and he goes down through a whole entire list there. And then he just keeps on going, and he says, what is a level below elite? I would call this in the strong grip category, and puts together a pretty good list as well. So that's another additional resource that Tommy put forward, and Randy Gentry came in and said thanks for that. So ended up being pretty good. I don't know if you guys saw that or not in the comments section.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought that was a good post by Tommy. I thought there was a lot of good info in there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So without further ado, I know that it's been a while since we covered feats, so what would you guys like to start talking about today?
Well, personally, I know, we all kind of talked about this a little bit privately, but Sim Johansson doing a clean and press with a globe-shaped dumbbell with looks like a 2.5-inch handle. It's got the flat bottom, so I think it's a Strength Shop bell. I think, Jed, you confirmed that it was. But he did a clean and press, and, I mean, at least the claim is that the weight is exactly what the inch would be. Is that correct, Alan?
When I saw scaled, I dug through his Instagram, and he scaled it at 76.1 kilograms. So that puts it around the 167 mark. So he comes up just a smidge light on it.
Oh, okay. Okay,
and,
but still, that's
from the picture I saw, it definitely had the Strength Shop bell, that little mark they use that goes into their mold.
Do you guys have any experience with those Strength Shop bells and just how the handles are on those?
Yeah, I picked one up one time when I was in Texas. Went down to one of the Fit Cons that Big J from Big J's Extreme Fitness was running. I want to say it was 2017. That's where I actually first met Tanner and Morgan from the Grip Board. What's his actual name, Alan?
Morgan Choi. Yep.
Morgan Choi. Thank you. And it was tough for me to pick up initially, but I was cold. And then once I got some blood flowing, it came up pretty easy. What I noticed was on that one, the handle is quite a bit longer. So,
Yep.
And I was talking about this with Thomas Larson and Jesse Pignonen. The longer handle, we speculated, would make it harder to lift it to a deadlift and keep it perfectly level. Just because it would, there's more of it to contend with. It's kind of like lifting one-hand deadlift on an axle. Like, it's tough to keep it level. So,
sure.
But to actually lift it, it's easier to tilt it and lift it. So, and we also figured that might be better for the clean as well, because I know when I clean the inch, I kind of I tilt it big time and then almost whip it up into position. So, but here's the deal, man. It's what? What'd you say, Alan? 167 point something pounds?
Yeah. Yep, right in that territory.
So that might sound, it might sound like a lot of weight under a normal inch, but my Sorinex inch is only 169. So it's only about 2 pounds lighter than my Sorinex inch. And again, he cleaned it and then basically strict pressed it. He didn't even use much leg, did he?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
It looked
I
good,
noticed.
and then held it at lockout.
Yeah.
He's using what he's got, and I believe the handle is a little bit smaller than an actual inch dumbbell by maybe a couple millimeters. But I'm pretty sure that if he actually came in contact with an actual inch, that he would probably be able to do just about the same thing that he did with that one.
Yeah. Have you guys noticed?
You said it really good with the using what he's got thing. You know, it's like, he didn't like seek out something smaller or easier. I think it's just literally what he had. I don't consider that disqualifying. I bet he's right up there in inch territory with the same type of feet.
Yeah.
How it looked to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine so. You know, the one thing I'd say about those strength shop bells too, just the ones that I've seen, the shape of the handle is almost like an oval. It's not like, they're not perfectly round. They're kind of like rough and bumpy. They're just not like, I don't know, they're just not machined as well as maybe some of the inches are. They're, you know, they're almost like old-timey in the way that their handles are. So, I mean, I know that you can, if the flat bottoms are on the ground, a lot of times it can be harder to pick up than if the bottoms are facing towards your palm. So that's the other thing. But regardless, I mean, for him to do what he did with that dumbbell basically tells me, if you put an inch in front of the guy, I don't see why he couldn't do it. If not the first time he tried it, maybe the second, you know.
Yeah.
Second or third workout with it.
How big is the dude? He looked like he was a pretty big fella. So he's got some serious power.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So he's from, was it Sweden where he's from?
I think he's from Netherlands, actually. And then I was asking Thomas Larson who else is from the Netherlands, totally forgetting that Geralt is from the Netherlands. So I totally took a whipping by Geralt for forgetting that he was from the Netherlands. So
yeah.
Like week in, week out, dude. It's killing me. This memory stuff is killing me. I'm gonna have to start taking some omega-3s or something like that.
Yeah, fish oil, Jed. It's missing from the average American diet. It's good for anxiety and depression as well. But does Gerald? He's more of a gripper guy, right? I mean, as far as I know, I mean he's a strong guy all around. But does he have an inch dumbbell?
Holy dude, this guy is 160 kilograms, it says.
Oh, wow.
He's a big boy.
Holy crap. Wow. Dude, I don't know I don't know much about this guy at all. I really don't. So he could be a gripper guy. I don't know.
No, I'm saying does Gerald have an inch?
Oh.
I don't think he does. He's mainly, like you said, a gripper guy. Yeah, I don't know what he has. I think he might even have like a rolling thunder and things like that. But he's pretty minimal actually. I think in his his grip gear that he's got, grip machine, some grippers, not a ton though. Well,
I don't know. I feel like we have to either get Sim Johansson to an inch bell or get an inch bell to Sim Johansson. It seems to me like it would be harder to transport one Sim Johansson than 1 inch dumbbell, though, if he's however much he weighs. Just put him on a pallet and send him to Sweden.
He must have some pretty good height to him because he looked fairly lean though for that.
He did.
I mean, he didn't look like he had a lot of midsection on him that would go along with that number. That was
I don't even know why Netherlands came up because it obviously says Sweden Barbell Club in the background of a ton of his videos, so I don't know what.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
But I thought it said Netherlands, so that was from someone else's comment. So I don't know. Who knows, man? I don't know. He took it well when we were discussing whether or not it was a legitimate inch too. He didn't get all defensive about it, so I got to hand that to him too. Because sometimes people. That can set people off, so hand that to them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it depends on how you do it. If you're like, hey, listen, man, like if you introduce conversational intent and you're like, hey, listen, man, like that's that's a crazy feat of strength that you just did. I mean, it's not an inch dumbbell. It's not far off from an inch dumbbell. But, you know, we got to get you in front of an inch dumbbell because we think you can do it with an inch dumbbell.
Yeah.
You know, that's a nice way of saying, like, you know, you didn't clean and press the inch, but damn, you probably could if you had access to one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get you access to one. So.
Yeah.
How's your
the other
progress
guy that you were asking about before the call, James?
Pommy Strength. Pommy Strength.
Is it T or like Thomas, Tommy?
No, P.
P.
P as in Peter.
Okay. And then underscore strength or all one word?
So it's Pommy Strength.
Okay. I'm going to look him up. PM.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was doing Highland ring lifts with like, I think it was 560 pound, 558 it was, 558 pound lift with one hand on a Highland ring, which is like, you know, that's like Brian Hunsaker territory.
Oh, this is the fella that, it just got shared on all our timelines here by Adam Bushaway, right?
Don't think he tagged me in it. I just kind of stumbled across it myself, but maybe he did.
Well, he got the important people on there, me and David.
Oh, well, he got you and out. Well, Adam Bushaway is not he doesn't like me anymore because I disagreed with him on something.
Oh,
so,
I see.
Yeah, so I'm no
well,
longer
this guy doesn't.
friend.
This guy doesn't candy stripe his plates quite as nice as Brian Hunsaker does he?
Yeah, it takes away from the feet a little bit.
Yeah.
Too many reds.
Yeah. Boy, man.
Isn't it amazing how many people are doing Denny Stone work right now? Like, doesn't it seem like there's an extraordinary amount, like more than I've ever known to do work on this?
Yeah, Joel Dirks is doing them. I don't know if you saw that. He was like holding, he was like 90% of the Denny's weights he was doing a hold with on some loading pins.
10-second hold on that.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing some Denny lifting next week. We're going to have a big crew here, probably 25 plus guys. So,
do you guys actually like doing that type of lift with those rings? Because, you know, I did that. I didn't do it with no 500 pounds. It wasn't much at all, but that dug into my hand so much, it's like, there's no freaking way I'm going to keep doing this shit.
Oh, yeah,
it just sucks.
It bruises you up something terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys doing this, never mind the weight. It hurts like hell, you know, so you got to give them that. Holy crap.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like, you know, I remember you guys talking about this a little bit about I forget what her name was, but she lifted the Denny Stones with straps, and you know, a lot of people were critical. I mean, look, it's a good deadlift. I mean, it's strong. I mean, I know it's not whatever the inches are. I think it's up like 20 inches, close to 20 inches, but it's a lot of weight and it's in balance, so it's a strong lift. But you know, two of the other factors, the pain tolerance and the grip strength, like she didn't really need for those lifts. And, you know, you can't say that on the internet without being accused of being sexist. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a fact, but no, like, you know, it is definitely a pain tolerance lift. It's why a lot of the benders, like if you, like just having, you know, training with Robert Miller and training with Gary Stewart, you know, the big thing that they talk about, and I've heard Delmar say the same thing, is that the gold nail is a pain tolerance thing more than anything. So pain tolerance has got a lot to do with the lifts, you know, with that lift for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it leaves my hands bruised up like crazy. It just breaks.
You can imagine how like the upper back's got to feel after that. I mean, the next day if you go to like carry groceries, that's got to hurt. You know, I mean, your trap's just got to be destroyed.
I love
that eating feeling. And stuff like that. It's terrible.
Yeah, my gosh.
Well, we were gonna have a couple of loading pins set up with the Denny rings attached to them next week at our little event we're having from a friend of mine. Bob Gianelli is retiring from work, and you know he's a guy I know from arm wrestling for 20 plus years. He's been arm wrestling since the 70s, so we're having a retirement party for him at my place, and we're gonna have a bunch of people over, arm wrestling tables, you know, grip stuff. Highland Games stuff. We're going to have some stones to lift, and it's going to be fun. So yeah, but we're going to do some Denny ring lifting for sure.
Oh, I'll be real interested to hear how you guys do with that. Yeah.
Well, last time we did it, Gary and I ended up in the 700s, but I'm pretty sure Gary's like in the 800s now.
Yeah, he's been hitting them hard,
God.
right? I've seen a few clips he's put up.
Yeah.
So, what kind of ring setup is everybody using on these? Is there a standardized ring that people are getting these days, or what are they? What kind of stuff are people using?
I ordered them from some guy. I'm not even going to say the guy's name, but we'll just put it this way: the guy, you could buy them online from this one guy who's in the Midwest. Who, it took him 3 months to even look at the order. I was trying to correspond with him. He wasn't getting back to me. I ended up having to, go through Amazon to get my money back from the guy. But then I just, I was talking to Gil about it, Goodman, and Gil's like, yeah, man, I'll make a few up for you, and I'll send them out this week, and I'll charge you less than that other guy was. So I know Gil started making them with barrel strength systems.
Yeah, I had one from him, but it looked to me like a lot of different arrangements out there. That's why I didn't know. You don't hear of a lot of people, like manufacturers, just having them. I didn't know where people were sourcing these or anything.
Well, again, my memory, but I believe there is an implement out there that is not even from like a grip sport or grip training related company. It's like it's something to do with like farming or something like that you can buy, and I think they're pretty cheap. I think they're only like $20 per piece. So I don't know if people are using those. I know that David Horn was selling them so that it was like a loading pin, and the Denny ring is like attached right to the top, and it kind of flops over.
Yeah.
It's not like a carabiner. It's some other kind of setup where it's fashioned there. And, of course, Iron Mind has sold them for years and years. I think they call them an R ring.
Oh, weird. I didn't even know they had them, actually.
Well, I'm assuming they still do. That's I got one years ago in a package deal that I bought off of someone on Gripboard.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was called an R ring.
Interesting.
Whether they still sell them now, I don't know. I'll tell you, I really wish that my buddy Eli still was active in this because he used to pull over 600 pounds with one hand on attachments like that.
Wow.
He was insane. He couldn't do the same kind of lift on like a one-hand deadlift, but things like his pain tolerance was ridiculous. Nothing hurt this guy.
Your hand would just be puffy
he
for
could pull
days.
a ton of weight on a loading pin with one hand. With the R ring, with the with the eagle claws that Iron Mind sells or used to sell.
I remember those, yeah.
Extraordinary weight. Extraordinary.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the actual European one-hand deadlift handle. That's one of the first things. We got that with the Euro back in 2004, and he used to pull on that, a lot of weight on that. They used to attach that to a straight bar. And then I think maybe they would lift each end of the bar over a 2-inch block or something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. There's a little
I wasn't even aware that existed. That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that stuff because, it strikes me as something that doesn't involve a lot of technique, especially the one-hand variation. So you're not limited by technique. You can just kind of like brute strength it. So I think maybe that's one of the reasons why there's such appeal to it as well.
What do you think the such a recent popularity in that?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with how much we've covered it here on This Week in Grip. No, I'm just kidding.
I love it.
I think, and that could be part of it, the simplicity of the feet. I mean, you're just picking it up and then setting it down. And plus, there's been decent coverage recently with
even ESPN
actual Denny stones.
Yep.
So I think that's just coming into play in that way. It's just getting covered more. So,
yeah.
it really only takes, there's a term for that. Maybe James knows what it is. It's like once a certain number of people are aware of something, it really explodes and can be the awareness level goes up even higher. It's like
yeah, I'm trying to think of what the term is. It's funny because I know it was on like the APA's National Psychology exam. That's what I'm sitting there trying to think of it. I had all that crammed into my brain, and then like half of it left after I took that test. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking more the recency effect. That if something like when ESPN had showed that clip on SportsCenter of don't know the woman's name who had lifted the Denny Stones with the straps. Yeah. I think that probably gave it enough exposure where you started seeing people say, wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I wonder where you can get rings like that. Or, maybe I should start trying to do that. Or, you know what I mean? So.
Yep.
Sure.
Because if you look at the better Denny lifters, the guys like Brian Hunsaker or the guys like Mark Haydock, I mean, they don't have a lot of followers per se, on Instagram, but they're definitely the best guys with those stones. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but if you take somebody and it can be somebody who's not even one of the better lifters of it, and you show it on something like ESPN, it's going to give it more exposure. So
yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was just a CrossFit competition, like maybe a regionals or something like that, and Rogue was going to do a record breakers again for the Denny Stone hold. They just did one at the Arnold. We didn't talk about that much in the Arnold episodes that we did, but they did record breakers for the Denny Stone hold at the Arnold, and they were going to do another one at whatever that CrossFit thing was that they just did here not too long ago. It might have been actually not necessarily a CrossFit, but a Rogue itself was holding a competition, and they were going to Brian was going to try to get there, but it wasn't going to work out because of his already his travel schedule that he was already committed to. Excuse me.
Okay.
He put some miles on.
I'm sorry?
No, he put some miles on.
Yeah.
He's always around, yeah.
Sure, yeah. But he's going to be involved in another one coming up here pretty soon. So I think we're going to see a lot of Denny Ring stuff going forward. I think it's going to be something that you see quite a bit of for a while.
Very cool. Cool. I think it's a really cool feat of strength. So yeah, I'm all about it.
For me, I think it's cool too. I mean, it hurts, and you run the risk of like cal tears and stuff. But the thing for me was always getting into position for both stacks of weights. Always seemed like risky for my back, so I never got into it. But dude, I saw Derniat walk with two of those loaded up to the same weight as the Denny Stones, and he actually took a couple strides with them. Shimmy steps, But he did that back in like 2013 or something like that. So just phenomenal athlete, that guy.
Yeah, nothing with Andrew surprises me at all.
No.
He just seems like one of those guys where you're like, hey, this is an incredible feat of strength. And he's like, okay, what do I do? And you tell him, and he just does it. And he's like, oh, that's supposed to be hard. He's one of those guys.
No doubt about it. What else, guys? Maybe we can let's jump around a little bit. What else have we been seeing here?
Well, did you guys see? I want to say the guy's name on Instagram is like R. Senhold, and his name is Dave Shamey. I don't know if you know the guy, but he posted a video of a Captains of Crush 4 close with a 20 millimeter set. Do you guys know him?
No. Let me look that up.
Tell me his name again.
What was it?
Is it on Instagram, you said?
Yeah, I think it's R. Senhold. Senhold. R-S-E-N-O-L-D.
Oops.
Saying no results. What was the guy's name? Dave
Shamey, like S-H-A-M-E-Y, I think it is.
Okay. That's not coming up either. I don't know.
I
didn't see that. I saw there was a number 4 close that I saw. It was an Asian guy. Pretty sure.
Asian guy.
Was it R. Senold?
Yeah, maybe it was. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. According to this, Jed, you're actually following him. It looks like. Yes.
Fantastic.
Sucker.
What's the name?
R. Senold. Senold. Yeah.
You got it.
Okay. No, well, I'm not logged in. Is he the one, like his latest video, he's in a red shirt loading a stone?
Yep, there's one there.
Alan, are you looking? Yeah.
Yep, that's what I got. Yep. I'm just watching this.
Did you see the clothes, Alan?
Yeah, I'm checking it out right now.
What's the tape that ends up between the fingers and the gripper? Yeah, I saw this. I actually commented on it. This is the guy that I was
you did?
about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not, obviously this is not Asian. This is more like a Russian type of guy, right? Well, I mean, I'm going by like the text that's there. It's got like an alternative text. It's not like the regular. It says like ABNA, AABNA, but it's the backwards N. I don't know, man.
Yeah. All right.
That's badass though.
Yeah, it is. That's a crazy close. Yeah.
Nice.
So I also. Are you watching it again? Okay.
Yeah, dude. I mean, gee whiz, he smashed it. Very impressive.
Did you guys catch Joel Dirk's lift on that 3-inch Titan?
No.
It's like a Saxon bar looking deal. Well, he had put something out on that. He hit about 225 pounds on it. It's more or less, like I said, a 3-inch wide. It's a Saxon bar type of thing. It's along the lines of like Rogue's beam, I think that they call it. But he asked me what I thought a good lift would be on that. Given it was 3 inches wide, I thought anything upwards of 200 pounds would have been good. And he hit 225. What do you guys think is a legit lift on something like that? A 3-inch wide, more or less Saxon bar.
Yeah, that's
how many millimeters? Yeah, how many millimeters is that?
Because it must be right around 75 and change. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a good lift then. Yeah, because I just bought. I was at Plate Against Sports and I found these 2 Yorks that are definitely they're deeper than the normal plates, but they're not like as deep as the old school York deep dish plates, but they're 76 millimeters, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, that might be enough another pinch feet for me in the future, but yeah, just trying to get my hands around that, thinking about putting even a pipe through that and adding, whatever weight would make it up to 200 pounds. That's a pretty good pinch.
Yeah. No, I thought it was solid. I didn't know. We don't have a lot of reference to that particular lift, what people are hitting on it. So
exactly,
I was basing my assessment off of like the 2.5-inch bar that we'd seen, people hitting in the 260 neighborhood. It was kind of where I took my guess from. So okay,
I'll tell you,
cool.
I wouldn't even be able to lift on that thing because I'm certain my fingers would cross over into the bottom of it.
That's what Joe Sullivan remarked on that, was that I think his fingers traveled around the other side. Joel Dirk's hands, his are average at best. They're on the smaller side, much like mine and James are. So that's a decent width for him without running any risk of hooking it, if you will.
Yeah. Did you happen to see his shallow hub curl he did with the York 45, the shallow York 45? He grabbed by the hub.
I did. Yeah, he's been hitting the grip pretty hard lately.
Well, you guys are going to put together a contest this year, right, Alan? Or is it next year?
Yep, it's coming up end of June. End of June this year. Yep, it's going to be at Torque Barbell in Woodbury, Minnesota, just outside of Minneapolis. There's a Facebook page and everything set up. I got to get it put. I was trying to get that thing pasted on the grip board, and it's been kind of a pain in the ass to get that on there for whatever reason. But there's a bunch of sponsors now and everything, so it's gonna be real exciting. That's different events: the Flask, Crusher, hub, Axle. So it ought to be a really good time. A couple people signed up already. A bunch of 15 others confirmed. So
great.
Hopefully a good event. Yeah, get a decent turnout.
Like
Cool.
That's awesome. That's an awesome
event. When's the date on that, Alan?
What's that?
When is the date on that?
June 29th.
Cool. Well, if you're in that area, you better get out there because Alan's run a bunch of contests before. Joel is a extremely strong dude. Is Muscle Link going to be out there, dude?
I think he's going to be somewhere else, actually. I think there's he might have like an arm wrestling thing or a strongman competition coming up around that time.
Oh, I see.
But I definitely got to mention it to him again to see if he can fit it in.
Mm-hmm.
So, should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
sounds like
let's
some
get
good
that.
events too.
If you still have trouble with that link, Alan, send it to me and I'll post it up on the grip board for you so that we get it out.
Okay, that sounds good.
Did I get it up on the Grip Sport calendar yet?
I thought I better.
I'll look right now.
Run in and verify that. Yeah.
I'm typing it in right now just to make sure. I thought that I put it up there, but just to make sure.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys follow John Matchnick?
Yeah, absolutely.
JT Mack? Yeah. Did you see what he was doing with that half 120 legacy blob?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
No, I missed that. I'd love to hear it though.
Oh yeah, and he's doing figure eights with it, and then he's got another video where he's repping out 245s on pinch. I forget how many he gets with each hand, but it's he's a strong dude.
He's strong, man.
Another guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I went to review Feats this week, I was looking. I was like, gosh, there's some people doing freaky stuff. Freaky.
Figure eights with the 120. Have you tried something like that with the Blobzilla, Jed?
No, I haven't, buddy. That's a good thing. I'm doing I put out a little challenge to Thomas and Yessie because I messaged with those guys quite a bit ever since the Arnold, and I asked them if they wanted to do a little challenge. Like, I think I actually said like most reps with Blobzilla in like a minute or two, because that was what Joel and I used to do when we were playing around. But then Thomas said, well, hell, let's go 5 minutes. And I was like...
5 minutes?
Yeah. So I'm like, all right,
5
you got to be a dick about it. I guess we'll go aad and do it. We'll do it for 5 minutes. Jeez.
Cardio. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Blobzilla or something?
Yeah.
Forearm
the
cardio.
First week sucked, man. My thumbs were beat up, dude, from whatever I was doing, because I just do it at the end. I just do it at the end of the session. I only got 2 per hand of full lifts, and then the next time I did it was like all thick bar, so I had tons of thumb lift, and I got 14 reps. But I tore my freaking right thumb, man. I'm so pissed off.
I was going to ask about that. How are you guys surviving a marathon session like that and not ripping your thumb open?
I didn't get anything the first time. I mean, I didn't get very many reps either, but I probably should have kept a couple in my back pocket. But it was just it was a tear that was already there from doing actually 3-inch Saxon bar work. And it just I lifted one time and I felt it was like something burned me, like a spark came off a fire and burnt my thumb. That's what it felt like. I'm like, shit. And sure enough,
some of those legacies, they got almost like a burr on that one side of them. I don't know if yours are like that at all.
They are, but that's not even where I tore. That's not even where I tore.
Okay.
The point where I contact the legacies and the point where I contact something smaller like a Saxon bar, they're 2 different locations. Totally different.
Okay.
Yeah, so what it was is just a weak spot in my thumb that ended up getting stretched and just opened back up.
Sure. Okay. Where are those guys at on the rep count in 5 minutes?
If I remember correctly, I think Thomas got 8. It was like 5 right-handed and 3 left-handed or something like that. And then Yessie hasn't done it yet because he's knee-deep in a run on the Flask right now. So he's going to finish out his program that he's got going on the Flask, which is very respectable, and he's doing some great numbers. He was doing like reps at 50 kilograms.
One-handed. That's crazy.
Yes, one-handed, dude. One-handed.
Wow.
So
nice.
Hopefully sometime soon he'll get into some real weight. Just hanging around. 50 kilo mark right now.
Speaking of that, did you guys see Tom Limuth? I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he had a half 50 kilogram legacy blob that he did a clean and press with.
I don't recall that.
Okay.
Oofda. That's got to be really unwieldy. Getting that up there and.
Oh gosh, the other clean and press one that I saw that was nuts was James Fuller had those two like really deep international 25s that he cleaned and pressed with both hands. Like he had basically two of those 25s in each hand, the deep international ones. Like, and he pinched them and then cleaned and pressed them. And I was like, gosh, that just looks like a really pretty fast way to get yourself some much needed dental work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that to me, I would think that'd be really hard on the thumb joint too. Something wide like that and pushing, that's got to be hell.
He's doing some really like next level stuff with implements that no one else is doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's doing like the underhook farmer's walks with like old school Yorks where his thumb is like underhooked into the rim and carrying those. I mean, that just seems like it would really hurt.
Yeah, it's funny because he and I have the same York plates, the 100s, and he's able to get his fingertips and his thumb underneath the lip of them. I can't even imagine what that's like. I don't even try to do that. I just pinch them. I pinch them the same way that I would pinch like a set of 45s or, and I walk with him that way. But he gets his fingertips underneath the rims of them, the lips of them. It's the craziest thing in the world. But and he's been passing them back and forth and stuff. So yeah, James is definitely he's. I mean, I don't consider him so much a grip guy. You know what I mean? He just seems like he's just an all around kind of any kind of lift that anyone's ever heard of, and a lot of the ones that you don't know of or never heard of, he's going to be an expert at. So yeah, he's in his own sort of class, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys follow Full Stop 2013?
I think so, yeah.
It's Thomas Larson's training partner. She puts up videos all the time, and, I mean, really respectable numbers.
That's a cool name. Full Stop 2013.
Full Stop with 2 P's.
Yep, I see.
2013.
Oh, I've definitely heard this name. I couldn't dare try to pronounce it, but I definitely heard the name.
Yeah, I don't see the name just yet. 1 second, maybe it'll come up. Yeah, Hilda.
I'm sure James could pronounce it. Yeah. That's what I would have gone with it. I tried.
It's like Hilda Holtzbu.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we're on the same page. I'm so bad with pronouncing things I don't even like to try.
Yeah, even when you get like the pronunciation right, not you, Alan, but with me, it's like the emphasis. I always put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. That's not my joke. Yep. That comes from a movie or something like that. Smitty used to say that all the time, so I don't want to take claim for something that's not mine. It's like the fallback. It's the fallback. Dude, did you guys follow or have you seen this Fat Muscle _coaching? It's that Sam Parker dude. He's
I don't think so.
He's super strong, dude. It's PHAT Muscle _.
That name sounds. We mentioned him one other time, and I don't know why he sounds so familiar to me.
Well, he was going for like 220 kilo clean, 220 kilo plate clean. And then he competed at David Horn's Grip Factory 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a little longer. It was a competition that Jerome Bloom was in. Really impressive dude. Huge. I don't think he's that tall, but he's extremely thick, like a powerlifting guy.
Yeah, I'm following him now. I just started following him.
And what is it? It's fat _ something. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. Fat as in PHAT.
Okay.
PHAT Muscle _coaching. He does a lot of online.
Oh, got it. Okay. Well, they're bang. Retired powerlifter. All right.
There's another dude that I saw do something really impressive. It's Team Compound NL, all one word, Team Compound NL. He did a 260-kilogram double overhand deadlift. This is just within a week or so.
Wow.
Don't know anything else about the dude. It just it came up on, I think, like the grip strength hashtag or something like that, and I saw it. And you know what? It can get really annoying with these hashtags. Like, I don't know if how much you guys have gotten into following the individual hashtags, but like,
yeah,
you know, like underscore grip training. There's like so much Ninja Warrior stuff in there, and like if people lift a kettlebell, they're considering that grip training. Or if they, you know what I mean? Or if they do pull-ups, it's like you're ruining my whole entire Instagram feed, pal. Then there's this dude that puts up hashtag inch dumbbell, and it's a bunch of selfies out by, like, the sea. It's nothing. He doesn't even have an inch dumbbell on his page. I don't even know why he's using that hashtag.
Oh, man.
It's really pissing me off, man.
Well, that's funny you say that because I was... You know how Devin Brown, his nickname's Muscle Link, and that's what he goes by on Instagram. And I saw something pop in. It was some like they wound up using that hashtag, but it was some like feminine kind of thing. It was freaking weird. It was like if he'd have seen this, he'd change his name kind of thing. You know? Yeah. It was just it was just crazy.
Dude, I'm not trying to pick on this guy, but if you search inch dumbbell and then go to the most recent post. He's standing there by, like, some construction site. Then it's like a weird stone wall, you know. And then he's got 3 in a row where he's leaning on, like, cars with the tightest pants in history. Come on, dude.
That's under the inch dumbbell hashtag?
pound inch dumbbell. Like
okay, I'm trying to see it right. Huh. That's funny.
Maybe he should attach an inch dumbbell to his belt loops and, you know, and jump into the sea that he's taking the selfies by. See if he can swim to the surface.
You go down his page, there's not a single picture of the inch dumbbell. Like, is there something else out there called an inch dumbbell that we don't know about that has to do with selfies in front of cars?
Maybe that was his nickname in high school.
Maybe.
I'm trying to see it. I don't even actually see that. That's funny, though.
I don't know how you can't see this, Alan. It's
no. I'm looking at the hashtag right now. I got recent and top, and I'm not like, I don't know, man.
Well, that's Instagram.
Not popping
it
up
doesn't
there.
even display the same way for two different.
Well, people. Yeah, that's definitely that's a real thing.
Let's look at his other hashtags: fitness, fit, Beatty building. I don't even know what that is. It's probably supposed to be bodybuilding. Motivation, fitness motivation. E times gut. What the heck is that?
We should let him know we're talking about him on this podcast and give him a shout out. You know,
Bora.
You know, I don't know much when it comes to
oral. That's his name. I don't know. And Tanner Merkel can take a long walk off a short pier because Luke and I tried the hand-to-hand transfer, the partner tag team. It's so freaking hard, man. It's so hard. Dude, that feat is so hard. And Tanner, like, he's doing it while he's, like, blowing a snot rocket in this one video. Like, the still frame is Tommy going down to bend it, and and then Tanner's, like, shooting a snot rocket or something.
Had you guys tried any?
Harder, I'll shoot a snot rocket on the handle.
Yeah, it seems like Luke has been doing a lot better with the inch lately. I saw he had some inch lifts and he was doing some combos too recently.
Well, yeah. Well, the truth is he didn't lift it for like 6 months, and then all of a sudden he did it like 18 times in the same workout, and along with combination feats.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was ripping it fast, like I don't know how to describe it, but like his monstrous deltoids are in the way. I can't see where his actual hand is. And then it goes from like the 4-inch to 12-inch range off the ground, and it moves so fast that I'm afraid I'm going to jam a finger or break a nail.
Break a nail?
Yeah, dude.
Jesus, Jedd.
Yeah. You ever lift with a broken fingernail? It hurts. It sucks.
It's awful. Yeah.
It's the worst, dude. Or ingrown fingernails. That's why I don't tear cards anymore, man. I always get an ingrown fingernail. It's all infected.
Oh, that's awful.
Infected cuticles.
Yeah. You know what? You talk about, getting an infection in that area. That definitely makes it hurt like a bitch, like doing pinching and stuff when you get like a skin infection.
It's fun to like squeeze it and then like white juice pops out, but it hurts bad.
It's weird. It hurts like hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I used to get them. The ingrown toenails from baseball, from cleats, from like running and like, man, I used to get them all the time. But so that I would imagine that would absolutely suck on your hands. So,
you know what I would think would happen when guys are trying to do that transfer is like when one dude would kind of go to slide out of the way, he'd like bang the back of his head into the other guy's face or something like that.
Dude,
it's like, that's kind of what I envision.
There's so many things that are hard about that lift besides just the strength to catch and hold the dumbbell. It's not even funny.
All Jedd can see is deltoid. He can't even eye the dumbbell.
Admiring Luke's shoulders.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys see Rinderly? He just recently locked out 245s left-handed, and he's close to getting a 45-55 now.
Yeah.
He's like where he was a month ago with 245s already with a 45-55. So
he's strong.
He's been killing it, man. Rindo's been on it.
He does it different, man. Like once he focuses on something, he does it like every workout and gets better every single time. So whereas I won't train something for another week, he'll have done it like 3 times since I did it.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And he can just tolerate that stuff. But did you see the worst thumb tear in history that he got?
That looked like a stubbed toe, but on your thumb.
Yeah, well, it's like he wore a wedding ring. And,
got degloved.
Stuck his hand in between like 2 gears or something and got totally confused.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird looking. That would suck. That'd be like you'd eat a grilled cheese sandwich right after that and get salt in it or something. It's like, ugh. It was kind of ugly. Yeah.
I like the way your mind works, Alan. I like that.
That's how it always goes for me anyway.
I have to give a shout-out to my buddy Porkchop, who came to training again yesterday. He is with that 135-pound dumbbell with the 2.5-inch handle. He is so close. I mean, he just got introduced to the thing a month ago, and he's already unbelievably close to cleaning it.
Nice.
Very close to cleaning that, yeah. So I think the next time he puts his hands on it, he'll be able to do it. And then afterwards, we went to the Chinese buffet, and he ate 4 plates worth of food and then had 2 ice creams. Like, he was going to get another plate, and I told him, I said, we got to go. I was like, it's Saturday. I got things I got to do. I can't sit here and watch you eat all day. So,
right.
Who was that comedian from Once Upon a Time that was talking about going to the Chinese buffet and they kicked him out? He said, like, do you go now? You've been here for an hour or something like that.
Well, yeah, it's funny because I'm pretty sure they look at a guy like Porkchop coming in and they're like, oh man, this one's going to cost us money. We're going to take a hit with this one.
Right.
They pull the expensive stuff off the buffet.
Oh, he loaded up on everything, and then they have a little hibachi section. He's got 2 plates of food sitting there on the table across from me, and he gets up to go get a hibachi, and I was like, is that not enough food? And then at the end he was nice enough to give me his fortune cookie. He didn't want that, but he wanted an extra ice cream. So Porkchop got 2 ice creams and 4 plates of food after training yesterday.
Nice. And probably a Diet Coke, right?
Well, I told him, I said, we got to bring him and Jason Otto out to do eating challenges, so we can all eat for free.
Yeah, nice.
That's the next thing.
they figured out how to stunt my eating ability at the local Chinese place by they bring me 2 sodas now. So they get me filled up on the cheap stuff, and then I can't eat as much.
So they do see you coming. That's a strategic thing on their part.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this place has been, they opened up when I was in high school, so they know me well. They don't even ask me what I want to drink anymore. They just bring 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to send you, and if you ever come down, Jedd, we'll go to the Chinese buffet with you, Jason, and Pork Chop. And
that sounds
great.
End up,
they'll kick us out and board up the windows by the time Saturday's over. So.
Perfect.
But yeah, man, he is just like he's doing some things. He even had the blob floated off the ground a little bit. So he's, for a guy who's just getting into it, and young too. He's like in his mid-20s. He's making some gains pretty quickly, and he comes in with a great foundation of strength too. So.
Cool.
Well, it's actually good when people first start out that they can't hit some of those upper feats, because I think it keeps them interested.
Exactly.
When they come in and just start smoking things, it's like, well, what's so hard about this? And then they just move on. So it's good that the challenge is there. Yeah, nice.
Well, that's just the thing, because he even said, like, after that first week, having the inch off the ground, both hands, the first thing he sent to me when he went home that day, like in a text, was, I got to get that inch. You know what I mean? And I was like, we got him. He's hooked.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
I think that's what hooked Luke, because he wasn't able to do anything with it when he came to the house. It just spun around, and it's that gets in your mind. That gets in your mind.
It does. It's motivating. Yeah.
It's like when you get up there at the plate and you hit the ball to the warning track.
Yep.
You want to get up there again and put a little more pop on it.
Well, in my experiences, that's when I would press, and that's when I'd actually end up going into slumps, is when I'd get away from my normal swing, and I'd start really trying to press and pull the ball. That's when I'd end up in a slump.
Sure.
And it would take me, like, weeks to get out of it. So. But, yeah, it's much like that. Like, he did this thing with the blob yesterday where he almost had it up, and and then he got mad and he, like, kicked it, which I thought was awesome. Because it kind of reminded me of that scene from Office Space where they take the copier out into the field and they got the bat and they're like, going to town on it. He was really frustrated with it. And I showed him that clip from that movie, and he was all about it. So yeah, he gets a little fired up. I think he's a keeper. I think Pork Chop will be around. So. And besides, we're grilling up a lot of food this coming week for this thing, so he's definitely going to be there.
Nice.
Dude, you got to get some footage. You got to get some footage of that. It sounds like it's going to be a great time.
Oh, I will, man. I wish you guys were closer, because it'll be fun. We'll have probably 3 arm wrestling tables, and we're going to have Atlas stones, and we're going to be doing Denny stuff, and I know Wayne, the guy that I've done Highland Games stuff with, he's going to come down with his different throwing weights and stuff. So we'll really try to screw up my yard royally, maybe even crack the sidewalk. So it'll be fun.
There you go. Was Juji going to be coming down?
No, he's been hitting me up to practice arm wrestling recently, but he's going to be in Toronto. They're going up to Toronto for something, and I don't know what it is, but they're going to be up there that weekend. So.
Sure. All right. Well, cool. Well, it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be really cool. And we haven't done one of these in a while. I think the last time we had a really big turnout like that was actually when Luke was in town. Luke was, I want to say, out in Charleston for a wedding or something, and him and Brittany drove through Charlotte on the way home, and we had a big training session that day. And I think we ended up with like 15 people or so.
Dude, I want to say that was
that
almost
picture.
like exactly a year ago, because I think that came up on my timeline or something. Or
yes.
maybe you shared it and it came up.
Yep,
it was definitely a year or two at the most ago. Yeah. Yeah, but that was cool. That was a I love those kind of big sessions. Those are fun. We used to have them a lot more when I arm wrestled, but doesn't happen as much now.
I think we might do something similar to that tomorrow at the gym, being a holiday. I think we're going to have some dudes over for some grip and bench press. So
nice. Sounds like an amazing day.
Absolutely. Hey, I just want to stick in one more thing here before we wrap up, guys. I want to recognize one of my current online clients, Matteo Angeline, and he lives in Italy. And he just one of the things that we've been working on is a number 2 close with the left hand and 2.5 with the right hand. And he just recently got that 2 weeks ago. So congratulations to him. He's been working very hard on that.
Nice.
And also, it's good to see Thomas Larson back to 100% or very, very close to it, because he was very, very sick. I felt real bad for him at the Arnold because he was not feeling well at all. So actually, a lot of those international guys came in under the weather. So
that's a bummer.
It's good to see those guys getting back. And Jesse Pignonen's made a great comeback from that injured finger that he had. It's good to see.
That's good. Yeah, it really stinks. I've had that before too, where you with arm wrestling though, not with this, but where you show up at an event and either the day before or 2 days before you started getting sick and you're like, ugh. And sometimes, the adrenaline kicks in and you're not so bad. You still do fine, but it definitely, it zaps you for sure.
Dude, I went out to Michigan at least 2 times, maybe 3 times, and competed at Don Larkin's place. We talked about that, last year a few times when Don passed away, but it was always Bob Lipinski that was running the competitions. And there was one time that I had the shits during the competition. I had to go to the bathroom 6 times. And there was another time where I ate, I thought, the ripest plum in history, and I think it was actually a rotten plum, because I became violently ill on the way back. I said, John Eaton was driving about 600 miles an hour in his wife's car. I said, John, we got to stop. We got to stop right now. And there was a rest stop, so we go in there. I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it to the toilet, dude. I opened up the stall door, blue chunks all over the wall.
Oh man!
All over the wall. I felt terrible, and I went out.
You get food poisoning all the time,
dude. My stomach cannot handle. I don't know what the deal is. I talked to this poor lady. I had to tell her in Spanish that I just got sick all over the wall, and she gave me this look of death, and I was like, I feel so bad right now on top of having food poisoning.
You actually told her.
Yes, I told her.
So you didn't just go in and say, "Oh, you're not going to believe that somebody puked all over in there."
No, I admitted to it, bro.
You took it. Okay.
Yeah, plum all over the place, dude. It stayed in my stomach.
Must have been a big plum.
Dude, we had macaroni cheese and burgers and hot dogs. They've made enough food to feed an army every time we went out there.
The only thing that would have made that more nasty if you'd have taken down a bottle of baby formula or something.
Oh,
that would have been
gosh.
Wouldn't that have been just epic? You'd had the smell, the texture.
Gosh,
so what is Eaton's deal anyway? That he's John Eaton driving across from Michigan to Pennsylvania like he's driving across the Bonneville Salt Flats when he knows you're sick.
Yeah, it was like a 4-hour trip. We get back to Smitty's house. We met at Smitty's house in Sayre, Pennsylvania. And, I'm, hobbling out of the front seat. And by the time I got to the front seat of my car, John had taken all of my stuff, all 7 of my pillows, both blankets that I took, 2 suitcases, and my lifting bag, as well as I think a blob and an inch, and put it all into my car by the time I got out of the rider's side of his car and into my driver's seat. He just couldn't get rid of me fast enough.
Yeah, it sounds that way.
This one time, dude, on the driving stories with Eaton, he used to massage my hands on the way back, because back then, dude, we would do feats for 8 hours after the competition. 8 hours. We wouldn't stop until 4 in the morning. It was ridiculous. And I remember him, ask Nick Rosendahl sometime about John Eaton's hand massages he would give. It was unbelievable. I was ready to train again the next day, because he would just help me with recovery. But one time on the way back from Gripness, he's driving 70 miles over the speed limit, It's snowing. We're going around a tractor trailer, and a deer comes out in front of us. I don't know how we didn't hit that son of a bitch. And it had a real low, low profile or something. It wasn't a big, tall car. It was really low. That deer would have ended up in our seat, in our laps, if we would have hit it. There was no time to hit the brake pedal because he was going like a bat out of hell.
Well, he's doing 120, and he's massaging your hands at the same time. Does he use cruise control? Like, how does that?
He was made to drive, dude. He was born to do that.
It sounds that way. Yeah.
We did a lot of competitions together, man. We went to at least 5 or 6 competitions. I mean, we went out to Illinois twice together, Michigan at least twice, Gripmas at least twice. We did some road work, man. We put some miles out together.
The road trips are the best, man. Those are the best.
Yeah. For sure. But I'm all bled out as far as the feats on my list, guys. I don't know about you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only ones I would mention was Jaden Majeski. He's been doing some pretty cool bending stuff. He bent a 6-inch crescent wrench. And then Steve McGranahan. I don't know if you guys follow Steve. He was quartering that the deck of cards. We had him wrapped in duct tape. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was pretty cool.
I saw that, man. He's real impressive. Man, I wish he'd get a hole in his schedule he could come up. I would really like to train with him. I really would. Because I know that I've accumulated probably 50 new grip items since the last time that I saw him in person. It would just be cool to see what he would be able to do.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, guys, that's it for me too.
Cool. Well, I just want to remind everybody there's a link in the description box below. If you want to check out those DVDs, you can go and get those for some discounts right now. There'll be a link right down there, and I think that's it. How about you, Alan?
No, I'm good. Oh.
Cool. Show's yours.
All right. Well, that is it for episode 95 of This Week in Grip. Hope everybody liked it. Make sure to comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back next week with another one. We'll see you then.